Good day, fellas. Welcome to Friendship Shaving. My name's Mark, and as always, I'm very glad to be here for a shave today. I am just turning over my collar so I don't get shaving foam on the collar of my t-shirt. And I've got a beautiful razor to share with you today. It is from Tatara in Portugal, and it was kindly given to me by Warren in the United States. So Warren, thank you very much indeed for your kindness. And the razor is the Tatara Muramasa Adjustable Razor. And it's not a new razor by any means. It's been out for quite a few years now, but this is my first opportunity to shave with one and to own one. So I'm very, very grateful to Warren. It's a lovely razor. I've been shaving with it this week, and I've been really, really enjoying it. The razor itself is made of 316 stainless steel. The handle has dimples cut out of it that get a little bit larger towards the top of the handle, and they sort of sit in parallel lines but rotate around the handle kind of the way that stripes do on a barber's pole. If that gives you some idea. One of those little dimples is cut out, and that shows the level of the shave. And the razor itself has little cutouts on the side of the head. There is no blade showing on the edges of the head of the razor, and holding it by the head, that allows you to rotate the top part of the handle to adjust the shaving level to whatever you desire. And today I'm going to be shaving, or starting my shave, on level 4. And we'll talk more about this razor as I go along. I've got a vintage brush today, guys. It is my vintage Certfyd brush, which has this lovely orangey red ferrule and a wooden handle, and I've got in a faux horsehair knot. I think this one came from Maggard's or Maggard Shaving in America. Other names are a brown knot, a pony knot, I think it's been called, but it's a very, very nice shaving knot, a synthetic knot, a third generation knot, if that means anything to you, but I think the 3G knots are excellent. I've created a lather in my little lather genie today, and we'll talk about that more in a moment as well. The soap I've got today is Albion shaving soap from Phoenix and Bow. Phoenix and Bow don't have any for sale on their website, but this has been a favourite of mine for quite a long time. It's a lovely, fresh, scented soap. And I just add a little more moisture to my already wet bristles, and I shall start to lather up and tell you a bit more about the items I've got in the den today to shave with. There's a lovely scent on this Phoenix and Bow soap, made in England, and it is a tallow soap, and it has scent notes of bergamot and grapefruit, and that is certainly what I get when I open the pot and start to lather the soap. A very fresh, zesty scent at the beginning. It mentions on their website that they reference Earl Grey, so there must be other scent notes in that. I don't particularly get the scent of Earl Grey from this, but it also says it has a floral herbaceous middle, so perhaps that's where the Earl Grey comes in, and it includes lavender and patchouli just to ground it at the end of the scent. So I've got quite a wet lather today, a little too wet for my liking. The soap I got was a sample, and I got it from Connaught Shaving, which is a good site to get samples from. And as it was a sample, I took some soap out but was unsure how much soap to use and how much water to use. So I've actually not used enough soap, or I've added a drop too much water. One of the two, never mind. Because a wet lather will generally give you a very slick shave. And I think that's what I'm going to be in for today. Now, I'll just tell you that I'm looking for a wrapper. I've got a Tatara Swedish stainless steel razor blade in the razor today. And this is third use. And I'm enjoying these razor blades. I think they are very smooth and very comfortable, certainly in this Muramasa razor. I'm going to start, as I said, on setting 4. Now this is a mild razor on all settings. So perhaps if you like a really aggressive shave, this razor may not be for you. It is a high-end razor made in Portugal, as I said, not made or sold from any Chinese-based websites. And the reason I've got this, or part of the reason I've got this, was that I bought a razor purporting to be a Tatara razor from a Chinese-based website, and it turned out to be counterfeit. Now, I sent mine back, and there were some subtle differences in the packaging and the finish. And Warren was looking to upgrade his stainless steel razor to a titanium one, and Warren was very kind enough to send me this razor, and it is a beautiful razor to hold. It weighs in at about 105 grams. Just showing one side of my top lip there, but it's a very nice weight to hold. The height of the razor in total is 88.2 millimeters. It is a little bit shorter than some of the other razors I have in my collection. But I think with this stainless steel, if it had a longer handle, the weight of the handle would disrupt the balance of the razor, and it is a very nicely balanced razor. I think for that reason, the handle is quite slim at 11.7 millimeters. As I say, not a new razor at all, but it is a high-end razor that will last generations. It comes in at 310 British pounds, obviously. Might be a little bit different where you are in the world, but I can tell you that my shave, or my first pass to be correct with this razor on setting 4 is excellent. It really works well for me. As one adjusts this razor, it changes both the blade gap and the exposure at the same time. So on setting 4, got a blade gap of 0.80 millimeters and a positive exposure of plus 0.07 millimeters. So a slight bit of positive blade there on the skin. Now I don't generally like that, but on this razor I find that very comfortable and very effective. And I'm going to just drop the setting down to setting 3 for my next pass, which will be against the grain on my neck and kind of sideways on my face. There we are, I've changed it down to setting 3. And I can certainly feel the slickness on my face from this soap. So it was quite right about that extra water, adding more slickness. Some soaps end up producing very thick lather, and other soaps produce not quite such a thick lather with the same amount of soap. So I was trying to make my sample last 5 shaves, but I think 4 shaves for this soap would have been better. It's a very nice soap, and I hope that Phoenix and Bow continue to make it. It was £18 for 4 ounces of soap, which I think is a very good price. And it is a lovely scented soap, very fresh, zesty, just very nice indeed. So there we go, on my fabulous vintage brush. And I do have a little bit of a thing for vintage brushes. Sadly, I got a Plymouth brush I was trying to restore, and well, that didn't go well. So that was a bit of a waste of money having that shipped from America, but try and try again. So here we go, setting 3. Going against the grain on my neck, and I don't know if you can hear that, but it's singing quite loudly, this little razor. I find it very comfortable on my neck. For me, it's the epitome of comfort and effectiveness. Very comfortable, very effective shave. Certainly one that would qualify as a heritage razor, one that you could pass on to another family member in years to come. Going against the grain on my face now, I tend to go with the grain on my first pass. On my second pass on the neck, it is against the grain, which for me is in an upward direction. And then across the grain on my face. Very nice razor blades. I'm very pleased Warren was kind enough to put a packet of these in for me. I like them. There we are. I rinse the razor and I am done with my 2-pass shave, apart from the wash up and the aftershave. But yeah, a very, very nice razor indeed. I have written to Tatara a couple of times now, asking if they would consider making an aluminium razor. The reason I've done that is twofold really. First of all, I think there are a lot of people that can't afford to spend £310 on a razor, and as aluminium razors tend to be cheaper, I thought it might make Tatara razors available to some people that can't currently afford them. The gentleman at Tatara said that they were sticking with stainless steel for the time being. With this razor, I think it's great, but there's just one thing that I really wish that they would change if they redid this. I understand that a little cutout for the number on the adjustment dial is, what's the word? It's certainly, it looks very stylish and it matches the exact size of the dimples. For me, even with my glasses on, I have difficulty seeing that number, and I know this has been a common complaint. Without my glasses on, I just simply cannot see that at all. I wish they would make that a little bit bigger. And my thought is, if it was made of aluminium, the handle could be a little bit longer and perhaps a little bit wider. I do like a wider handle, and of course that longer handle, because it's aluminium, wouldn't affect the weight, wouldn't affect the weight of the razor so drastically. So there are my thoughts, but all in all, a fantastic razor, and I am now the proud owner of a very nice second-hand Tatara razor, courtesy of Warren in New York. Thank you, my friend. Great, absolutely great. I've enjoyed my shaves with it this week, and I think it's a fantastic razor. So there we are. Now for aftershave. Going to use some Proraso green, just to use this up. It's a very nice, simple menthol and eucalyptus aftershave. It certainly will go with the lightness of the Albion scent. And I will say, just before I leave, been using the Lather Genie from the Byron Shaving Company, and I was very much against small shaving bowls for quite a long time. I prefer a bigger bowl, but I have been using this one and finding it to be very effective. It's 4 inches across, 3 inches across on the base, which is 7.5 centimetres or thereabouts. And I've totally got used to using this little small bowl. Yeah, very good indeed. I'll leave all the links so you can find the products I've used, and I hope you've enjoyed my shave today. Thank you for being with me. I'll see you next time around. All the very best, fellas. Bye bye now.